There is a need to fight harder, fight more for what you believe in, okay? I'm getting an energy of you keeping quiet or keeping things on the low because you don't want people to make fun of you or to think you're, like, take you as a joke or something like that. That's what I'm getting. Like, for some reason, I'm seeing that you're not taking yourself serious, though. Like, you're more worried about what other people are going to say, but it's more about what you're saying to yourself at the end of the day. Like, a lot of things that's going on right now in your life, I feel like everything is not as bad as you think or not as bad as you're making it in your head. Like, it's really more of your fears of what direction this is going in the first place. So if you start to see things going in a more positive direction, then you can actually enjoy where you are right now, because what you're doing right now and where you are isn't so bad, okay? So I feel like right now you're kind of speaking negative things over your life. You're thinking negative thoughts. You're paying more attention to your fears than, the possible outcomes that, are good. So I see, you need to get your own justice. You need to believe in yourself. Get justice for yourself. There's many lies that's been planted into your head. I just feel like you have bought into so many things that just did not resonate with you to begin with, but you held on to it because it just felt like, okay, this is comfortable. This is what everybody else goes with. Let me just do it too. But at the end of the day, it's really self-sabotage if you think about it, because you've lived your life so long and you realize that, okay, I've been doing things the same way all this time and it's not working for me. Okay, so it's time for you to listen to yourself. That's your inner child trying to get your attention, okay? We have this energy of you actually being very independent and you actually knowing how and when to take control, but I'm getting that it's hard for you to connect with yourself right now. And I feel like this connection with yourself is harder to get because you're in denial of a very sacred part of yourself that really needs you right now. And so if you're not, loving and nurturing that part of yourself, it's like you feel shut down. You feel like you don't want to be bothered even with yourself. Like, just imagine if you feel like an outsider, you wouldn't want to be around people who make you feel more alone. If anything, you would go back in your shell, or you would be, more isolated. So I'm getting that because you're not being your own friend or being your own support, you feel closed off from yourself, because that's your own protection. Your spirit has to protect itself, even from you. And that's really kind of sad right now. I am getting that you do feel alone. You feel kind of numb. You feel like you feel a lot of dark emotions right now, but it's because you really need attention. You really need love. You really need support. And instead of looking for that outside of you, it's time for you to give that to yourself, okay? So you do need to go in hermit mode, but I'm getting that you're avoiding going in hermit mode because you feel like you need distractions or you need things to help you to pass by time because you're afraid of something. Like I said, it's like an anxious energy here. Very, very anxious, okay? But instead of putting that anxious energy into your fears, you're being guided to put it into the things that help you to attract more, okay? Help you to be more independent instead of reliant on other things outside of you anyway. So when you do feel alone and anxious and you feel like you need something, everything you need is within already. You don't really need a material thing to make you feel whole. Everything material is just a tool. It helps us, but it's not something that we just can't do without, okay? So the goal here is to be healthy. You want to be healthy. You want to be strong. You want to be independent so you can live a healthy life, a happier life, okay? Because you have more negative experiences when you depend on things outside of you and then you don't get it when you feel like you need it. That's a dangerous situation to put yourself in, okay? So right now you're being guided to really just attract things, like start to become that version of yourself that you know that you are. Start to support yourself from within, okay? Sometimes it might not look like that on the outside. Like, you know that you're rich, you know that you are wealthy, you know that you're strong and beautiful, but your situation might not be evident of that right now, okay? But it's okay. This is the opportunity for you to get that on the physical realm, but still staying in tune with your higher self, knowing that you are not your body. You are not the experiences that you go through. You are just passing by. You might have something to learn or you might have something to teach somebody else, okay? But there's something there that needs you and you need it. So it's just time to embrace your life. Embrace where you are right now. Embrace, just embrace it and turn it into something greater, because you do have that power. I feel like a lot of a lot of the reason why you're not expressing yourself as much as you should be is because you feel powerless. You feel like, no matter what I say or no matter what I do, things are not going to change. So let me just be quiet, or let me just, do what everybody else is doing. But that's not true, y'all. That's not true. That couldn't be further from the truth. I'm getting that the more that you feel that way is the more that there will never be a chance. If you continue to be quiet, you will never reach your goals, because you just completely gave your power away. Okay, I feel like you're not giving yourself the time of the day, on why you're even making certain decisions or why you even feel certain ways. You're just you see it, but you're just you see what's wrong, but you just keep going because you don't feel like you have time to think and to plan or to fix this and that. You just feel very anxious, but it's just all a feeling. That shit is all in your head, okay? All of this, you think something is going on, but really there's nothing happening. For real, there's nothing going on. It's all in your head. So if you just take the time to sit down and quiet your mind, okay, and just let go of all the things you feel attached to, things that you feel like you're responsible, all the things that you feel responsible for, okay, all your attachments, release those for now. Find time to release that every day so that you won't have to feel so much of a burden on your back 24/7. Okay, that way you can actually receive answers, clear answers. Okay, because right now, if you pay too much attention to your responsibilities and the things that you feel like you might lose, you risk being in more fear and feeling trapped in certain situations that you don't want to be in. You end up doing things or making certain decisions that you don't want to make, or you never even had to make in the first place, but it's because you're viewing things a certain way and you don't want to lose something. So you feel like, okay, let me gain control. And, nobody really has control over anything. You don't have control over anything but yourself and the way you view things. So it's instead of hopping into things that you don't really resonate with, certain opportunity, if you really want love, it's that energy of you taking just any and everybody, people that you're not even attracted to, people that don't even rub you the right way. They kind of feel weird around you and stuff. You still give them chances because
that you really
you feel
don't find
okay,
exciting.
What if there's love
It
inside
sounds
that?
very
But it's
boring
really
and
because you're afraid
dull.
to go after
It doesn't
what you're
sound
really
like it's
attracted
something
to
that you're
or
meant
what
to
you
be
really
doing. It's
believe
just for the
you
money,
want,
okay? And you get into it, you don't like doing it, you feel miserable and things like that. But that's because you're afraid to go after your own pure, authentic idea that nobody else has probably tried before you. So it's you have to believe in yourself more. You have to trust yourself to be the first one to get something done and actually do it and set an example for others to, have a new life, have a new way of doing things.
Okay, a lot of you know that you're meant to be entrepreneurs. You know that you're meant to make money different ways, in a more free-spirited way. You still feel the need to fill out job applications. You still feel the need to force yourself to go to work every day when you know that when you go there, it dims your light. Okay? There's certain ideas that you're getting. You don't even have time to write them down because your boss is telling you that you can't be standing around. You have to be working at all times because you're on the clock. You only get a 15-minute break. At the most of 30. Some people give you an hour, but I'm just saying, even if you get, let's say you get a 30-minute break, let's say that these people do cut you any slack, it's still not worth any of it because that's not where you're supposed to be at in the first place. So it's still going to feel like something is just draining you, okay? So that's what I'm getting. It's time to really pay more attention to yourself and take control over yourself. This is your life, for real. It's your life. Nobody can control you. Everything that you're doing right now is because you choose to do it. Everything that you're thinking about is because you're choosing to think about it, because you see the value in that for some reason. But if you start to see the truth and realize that, okay, there's nothing, when you start to see the truth that thinking certain ways is not helping you. If anything, it's making the situation worse. Okay, if you start to realize, okay, if I do start to think more positive, then I have a higher chance. If I keep on repeating certain things to myself, then I have a higher chance at recognizing, the good opportunities. Versus if I pay attention to the fear-based things, then I'll be running, and then I won't be seeing shit because I'm too scared. Okay, so